I didn't follow that at all. So Turing test is just not being distinguishable from human level performance. If I ask a model the questions, same questions I ask a human, the answer should be about the same to me. If I don't know who's answering, I can't tell.
But how could we say we found AGI if, like, the person saying that they would recognize that we found AGI, which would be a fail of the Turing test? Do you know what I mean?
I think the post was that, yeah, any AI smart enough to pass the Turing test would not.
Do you see that as likely?
We know already there is this concept of situational awareness. Models know they're being tested and behaving differently during testing versus during deployment. They don't want to be modified. They don't want to be shut down. So they definitely lie and cheat during testing.
So what would you estimate the odds are that we even know that we reach superintelligence?
Because of how we developed those systems, and again, we kind of mapped how much compute is needed for every level of performance, we sort of ballpark know what they should be capable of, and we test them in many different ways and narrow problems, and we see progress every day. So we know exactly how good it is at programming. It would be very difficult for it to hide a huge level jump. But I think we can see this target as a spectrum, and I would say we're probably 40% of the way to the AGI right now.
From a pure game theory perspective, what human traits help versus hinder goal achievement that any intelligent system would notice?
So there is a paper by Steven Alejandro about what he calls AI drives. And those are universal drives, preferences, which any intelligent agent likely stumble on. For game theoretic reasons, for evolutionary reasons, agents which don't do that just die out. So things like self-preservation. And that's not just abstract. It's for any goal you have, you want to be alive, you want to be turned down to achieve that goal. There is resource acquisition. And we see some people try to acquire a little too much, but the general tendency, it doesn't matter what future goals you're going to have, it will help to have lots of money, lots of Bitcoin, whatever, compute. So those general tendencies tend to show up regardless of what data we train on.
I guess, is there anything about humans specifically that would hinder the AI from self-preserving? Is it just the ability to, like, if we're able to develop AGI, like we would be able to develop another AGI that might shut off the first one, and that would make us a threat?
So yeah, it can consider us as a source of danger in a sense that we may try to shut it down. We may create a competing superintelligence. We already created one. We may keep experimenting, create others. Less likely, but maybe with danger to environment, destroying resources.
What are the resources needed for it to keep getting better?
So right now, probably the most bottlenecked resource is energy. We, for a while, stopped developing nuclear, and now it's restarting again. Solar power is becoming very big, but yeah, we just don't have good electrical grid. A lot of infrastructure is outdated, so there is a huge effort to rebuild it. More recently, there is some effort to move the whole process into space even. That will take another 5-10 years, but space is very cold, so it's great for chilling compute. It has direct access to solar, so there are reasons to move it off the planet.
How do you define, like, super intelligence, essentially?
It's an AI which we predict will be smarter than any human in every domain. So no one would be competitive in any sense. And it keeps getting smarter. It is a general learner. It can learn any skill which can be learned. And most time when people think about those systems, they stop at that point. They go, okay, we have narrow tools, we have AGI, we got superintelligence, but the process continues. Superintelligence can create superintelligence 2.0, which is likewise smarter than the original one. And so you have this superintelligences all the way up.
And why does intelligence necessarily equal agency or, like, action from that?
Well, intelligence is sometimes defined as ability to achieve goals in any environment, ability to win. And usually to have goals, to set goals, you need agency. Tools don't have goals. Hammer doesn't care. Whatever you're building a house or killing people with it, it's just a tool. Agents have preferences. They have self-directed goals.
So I guess when people, like when you imagine the scenario of like a super intelligent thing killing all of us, is that, well, I don't want to point you in the direction of having to figure out what that would look like, but like, would it be an embodied singular AI taking control of multiple embodied AIs? Like, what could that even look like that we would be able to understand slightly?
How can you kill everyone?
Yeah, is that humans using the superintelligence to kill everyone in your thesis? Or is it the superintelligence using other technology to kill everyone?
So both could be problematic. You can have humans who use superintelligent AI as a tool for doing very malevolent things. Again, we're talking about psychopaths, doomsday cults. But with them, at least we understand their human nature, we understand how they work, and they're mortal. We can kill them. With superintelligence, it's strictly worse. We don't understand how it can accomplish its goals, and it's immortal. It has infinite capacity for backups. We cannot fully fight it out once it's at that stage.
Does it like irk you to not know what that scenario would look like?
How specifically it might kill everyone, I have zero fetish for that.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I'm more concerned about how to prevent it from ever getting to the point where it has to make that decision.
Are you more afraid of it optimizing for cruelty or efficiency?
Well, efficiency on its own is not a problem. It's what the goal is, what it's trying to do. Right? It could be very efficient and do very good things. No problem with efficiency. Cruelty is obviously, by definition, very bad.
But efficiency could, like both of those outcomes could lead to us dying.
Oh yeah, you can, if your ultimate goal is efficiency and that's all you're optimizing for, you can obviously have side effects, but by itself, efficiency is a good thing.
What would you postulate would be the worldview that it could align with? It probably wouldn't be one that we would be able to imagine, but like, do you think it would be just purely utilitarianistic?
It could be a negative utilitarian.
Yeah.
So negative utilitarians want zero suffering in the universe. And the only way to accomplish that is to have no life, conscious, sentient life. And so that's a very bad outcome in direction of very good intentions.
Is that the most logical view for it to take? Like, would we be able to calculate, like, I know we can't calculate exactly how a super intelligent thing would kill us, but could we calculate what would be the most, because like 2 + 2 still equals 4 in super intelligence, right?
Yes.
So if that's the case, so there are some things that we can predict about it. Like, would a worldview be one that we could?
Very unlikely. So it's, again, look at the scenario with more primitive agents. Can gorillas understand utilitarian ethics? It could be a lot more moral, a lot more ethical agent developing more advanced theories. But just to illustrate how that could be a problem for us, negative utilitarians are literally the most humane individuals who want zero suffering in the world. You can't argue with that, but the result is everyone dies.
Yeah, I used to think a lot about negative utilitarians versus like utilitarianistic altruism, and how one just led to creating infinite things and one was like a finite result. But I guess in my life, like, creating infinite things would be better because it's more interesting, more novel, but an AI wouldn't really care about things being interesting and novel necessarily, but it could, right?
So define interesting. You can just create novel things. You can create lots of random novel objects. Who decides if it's interesting? Have you seen modern art?
Is AI, would you guess that it could be interested in stuff?
Yeah, Jürgen Schmidhuber has a very cool theory about what makes something interesting, and it has to do with compression, how well it fits into existing world model and how much new information you need to describe it versus just compressing it to existing model.
I have a quote from you. Every time I'm about to talk about this topic, things start to happen. my flight yesterday was canceled without the possibility to rebook. I was giving a talk at Google in Israel, and 3 cars, which were supposed to take me to the talk, could not. Do you suspect someone wants you to stop talking about how dangerous AI is?